Hello, I'm Miss Debbie from the Morton Grove Public Library, and this is Folk and Fairy Tales. Are you ready for some stories? Let's begin. I'm in the mood for stories. Hey, how about you? I'm in the mood for stories. Hey, how about you? I'm in the mood for stories. Reading along with you. Hey, hey, what do you say? I'm in the mood for that today. Hey, hey, what do you say? I'm in the mood for that. This will be the last folk and fairy tales of the school year, but you might see me or one of the other librarians around town, around Morton Grove, at one of our parks. Austin, Oketo, Mansfield, Frank Wren, and we're going to be doing stories at the park on Wednesday mornings. And I might just sneak in a fairy tale now and then. It's really hard for this to be the last one because there are so many stories that I haven't told you yet. Things like Elves and the Shoemaker. I've got big old books with illustrations. Here's the McElderry book of Grimm's fairy tales. You can check these things out at the library. Get your parents to read them to you. Here's one that I have on my shelf. It doesn't have any pictures. It is an anthology of fairy tales or lots of stories and poems. And the light would shine over my head, and I would pull my chair up in the doorway. The kids would all be in bed, all snuggled up in the dark, and I would read to them until they got sleepy. More about that later, because I have a story about that special bedtime time. And here's another story that most people don't know about, called Rose Red and Snow White. It's different from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. It's got a bear in it. That was one of my favorites growing up. So, the last story I'm going to read to you today mentions other stories. And a couple of the stories that they mentioned, I haven't read to you yet. So I think I'd better either tell you the story or read it to you right now. The first one is Chicken Little. This is an old folk tale, and it's retold by Rebecca and Ed Emberley, and they do the pictures too. There he is. That's Chicken Little. It's one of our chickens today. Chicken Little was not the brightest chicken in the coop. He was very excitable and prone to foolishness. One day he was doing nothing, his usual pastime, when an acorn fell from the sky and hit him on the head. Bonk. Eep! It knocked him senseless. "Oh my goodness, oh my gracious," he exclaimed. "The sky is falling, the sky is falling. I must run for my life." He grabbed his umbrella to protect his scrambled noggin and ran out into the world without much of a plan. It was not long before he bumped into Henny Penny. Bonk. Ah! "Where are you going in such a rush?" she squawked. Oh my goodness, oh my gracious, Chicken Little panted. The sky is falling, the sky is falling. We must run for our lives. Oh my, said Henny Penny, and being witless herself, joined in without much further discussion. And off they went, still no plan. Within minutes, they ran into Lucky Ducky. Bonk, ack. Hey, he quacked. Why are you in such a hurry? Oh my goodness, oh my gracious, huffed Chicken Little. The sky is falling, and we are running for our lives. Henny Penny could not catch her breath, so she said nothing. Not wanting to be left out, Lucky Ducky joined in, and off they ran, and still no plan. Momentarily, they ran into Goosey Lucy. I mean, Lucy Goosey. Honestly, with names like these, is it any wonder? Bonk, onk. Why don't you watch where you're going? She honked. Oh my goodness, oh my gracious, rasped Chicken Little. The sky is falling, and we are running for our lives. What a bother, I'd better come with you. What's the plan? Asked the goat. No time for plan, they huffed. The sky is falling, and off they ran. As it was growing dark, they ran into Turkey Lurkey. Bonk. How dare you, he gobbled. Oh my goodness, oh my gracious, croaked Chicken Little. The sky is falling, and we are running for our lives. No time to explain. And off they ran. Onk, at, awk, eep, bonk. Soon the anxious little flock grew tired. They were not used to all this running. Then they ran into Foxy Loxy. My, mumbled the fox. Where are these little birdies going at such a frantic pace? Oh my goodness, gasped Chicken Little, who was now quite out of breath. The sky is falling, and we are running for our lives. Oh my goodness indeed, said the fox. We must find a place for you to rest. Step into this warm, dark cave where the sky cannot fall on you. Without another thought, their tired feathered heads, oh my goodness, the flock went forward gratefully into the warm, dark cave. Pee-you, squawked the hen. It stinks in here. And the floor is squishy and wet, quacked the duck. Gobbled the turkey. Oh no, honked the goose. Ah, ah, achoo! Eep, ock, ack, oop, awk. The end. All those feathers must have given the fox a little tickle. Silly, silly birds. The next story that we have not read this year is Hansel and Gretel. This is a very, very old story. It's been collected by the Grimm fairy tales. This version is a little reader, but I'm not going to read it to you. I'm just going to tell you because it's kind of long. But it starts, once upon a time, there was a brother and sister, Hansel and Gretel, and they lived with their father and their stepmother in a little house near the woods. And they were very, very poor. They were so poor that they were starving. They didn't have enough food to eat. So the stepmother suggested to the father that they should take Hansel and Gretel into the woods and leave them there. That if they didn't leave them in the woods, then they were all going to starve. That was a pretty mean stepmother. Well, I'm going to skip over some parts, but eventually they did leave them in the woods, and there they were, all alone. They tried to find their way home, but instead they found a house made out of candy. And of course, they were very, very hungry, so they began to eat the candy and the gingerbread that the house was made out of. And this old woman came out, and at first she seemed really nice. She said, "Come on into my house." But it turned out she was really a witch, and she made Gretel a slave, and she locked Hansel up in a cage, and she was going to throw him in the oven and cook him and eat him. Oh, that's why they're very grim, these grim fairy tales. Well, before she could do that, Gretel pushed the witch into the oven, and then they ran home. They found their way to their father. By then, the stepmother had died, and they lived happily ever after, especially because when they left the witch's house, they found jewels, and they stuffed them in their pockets. So they were rich, and they never had to worry about being hungry again. So that's the end of that story. That is a very popular old story, and there has been an opera made of that. And I want to teach you a very simple version of one of the songs. So we're going to turn around like that. Okay. All right. And it goes like this. With my foot, I tap, tap, tap. With my hands, I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first, and left, and then round and round and round again. All right? With my foot, I tap, tap, tap. With my hands, I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first, and left, and then round and round about again. Can we do that a little faster? Let's try that. With my foot. With my foot, I tap, tap, tap. With my hands, I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first and left foot too. Round and round about and again. Oh, I got the words wrong. I think we better do that again, but let's try it a little bit faster. With my foot, I tap, tap, tap. With my hands, I clap, clap, clap. Right foot first and left, and then round and round about again. There we go. Okay. And I think we are ready for the last story. I've taught that little song. I put a link to some children singing that song, and also the opera in German. So you might want to listen and see what that's like. I have sung that song with babies before, and we sang it this way. Let's see. With my foot, I tap, tap, tap. With my hands, I clap, clap, clap. With my eyes, go peek-a-boo. with my lips say I love you. Do you guys remember singing that in We Read? That was a long time ago. All right. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, I turn it around. Interrupting Chicken by David Ezra Stein. This book is published by Candlewick Press. Yes, it is. And it says, this book is called Interrupting Chicken, right, Papa? Yes. Now, please don't interrupt the story. It's bedtime for little chicken. Oh, look. It's getting dark outside. It's time to go to bed. It was bedtime for the little red chicken. Okay, my little chicken, said Papa. Are you ready to go to sleep? Yes, Papa, but you forgot something. What's that? Asked Papa. A bedtime story. All right, said Papa. I'll read one of your favorites. And of course, you are not going to interrupt the story tonight, are you? Oh, no, Papa. I'll be good. Hansel and Gretel. Hansel and Gretel were very hungry. Deep in the woods, they found a house made of candy. Nibble, nibble, nibble. They began to eat the house until an old woman who lived there came out and said, What lovely children! Why don't you come inside? They were just about to follow her when up jumped a little red chicken and said, Don't go in, she's a witch. So Hansel and Gretel didn't. The end. Chicken? Yes, Papa? You interrupted the story. Try not to get so involved. I'm sorry, Papa, but she really was a witch. Well, you're supposed to be relaxing so you can fall asleep. Let's try another story. I'll be good. Oh, we did this one a long time ago. Little Red Riding Hood. Take this basket of goodies to Grandma, said Little Red Riding Hood's mother, but don't stray from the path. The woods are full of danger. Red Riding Hood skipped along through the deep woods. By and by, she met a wolf who wished her good morning. She was about to answer him when out jumped a little red chicken, and she said, Don't talk to strangers. So, Little Red Riding Hood didn't. The end. Chicken? Yes, Papa? You did it again. You interrupted 2 stories, and you're not even sleepy. I know, Papa. I'm sorry, but he was a mean old wolf. Yes. Now let's get back into bed. Okay, Papa. Let's try one more little story, and I'll be good. Chicken Little. Chicken Little was hit on the head by an acorn. The sky is falling, she thought. She was about to run off and warn Goosey Lucy, Ducky Lucky, Henny Penny, and everyone on the farm that the sky was falling, when out jumped the little red chicken, and she said, Don't panic, it was just an acorn. So Chicken Little didn't. The end. Chicken? Yes, Papa. You did it again. Oh, Papa, I couldn't let that little chicken get all upset over an acorn. Please read one more story, and I promise I'll fall asleep. But Chicken, said Papa, we are out of stories. You know, and I know, there are lots of stories, but I think Papa's getting tired. Oh, no, Papa, I can't go to sleep without a story. Then, said Papa, yawning, oh, why don't you tell me a story? Me tell a story? Said the little red chicken. Okay, Papa, here we go. Bedtime for Papa. Once there was a little red chicken who put her Papa to bed. She read him 100 stories. She even gave him warm milk, but nothing worked. He stayed awake. Oh. Papa? Good night, Papa. The end. All right, it's time for us to say goodbye. And wait this way and that way. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you and you and you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening and underneath the moon. Skidamarinka-dink-a-dink, skidamarinka-doo. I love you. I love you too. Boop, boop, be doo. I hope you read lots of stories, lots of fairy tales, and every other kind of story there is. Have a great summer. Bye-bye.